So the BBC Good Food skill is the ultimate recipe assistant. It offers users a genuinely voice-guided cooking experience. We took BBC Good Food's 11,000 recipes, we adapted them so that users could cook along, step by step, guided purely by voice. We wanted to make something that was different or better even than what you might get on the app or the website. So we did that in a number of ways. Firstly, we thought about search, how we can get users to a result or a recipe they wanted as quickly as possible. So we guided users through step by step to that result. And secondly, we thought about overcoming some age-old problems. I'm sure we've all experienced trying to cook along with a recipe book or a mobile phone screen, where you're flicking between the method steps and the ingredients. So we've overcome that problem with simple things like being able to say how much sugar right in line with the method step, not having to flick back and forth. Those things make it a genuine cook-along experience and differentiate it from what you might experience on an app or a website. Alexa, open BBC Good Food.
Hi, this is BBC Good Food. Find recipes by ingredient, dish, diet, course or type of cuisine. So, what kind of recipe would you like?
Chinese with chicken.
Chinese chicken. Alright. I've found 69 recipes. You can hear the most popular or narrow down the results. What would you like to do?
Most popular.
Great. Here are the top 3 recipes. 1. Easy sweet and sour chicken. 2. Watercress and chicken stir fry. 3. Cashew chicken.
Let's go with 3.
Got it. You've selected cashew chicken. This recipe is rated 5 stars, serves 4 and will take about 20 minutes. Shall we begin cooking?
Begin cooking.
Would you like to hear the ingredients, or go straight to the method?
Let's go straight to the method.
Step 1. Put the chicken in a bowl with the egg white, sesame oil, corn flour and 1 teaspoon salt, and mix well.
Alexa, close. We got started in voice a little on the left field actually. Chris Kerwin, who's the MD at BBC Good Food, came to us and was keen to explore the opportunities around sort of connected appliances. So we set out to make a product that allowed users to basically ask what they can cook tonight based on the ingredients they have in their fridge. Using the built-in cameras in the smart fridge, we were able to basically take an image of what's inside the fridge and process that using object recognition. So in effect, we had a catalog of what was actually in the user's fridge. So when they said, what's the healthiest thing I can cook tonight? We're giving them results based on what they actually have. Obviously, it's a proof of concept. Object recognition isn't quite there for it to be a mass market product. But this was the beginning for us in voice, and it was actually the genesis for the BBC Food skill, which is out there now and doing really well. So our motivation in voice, when we first started, we thought about voice as an interface for the home, something that sort of really connected the dots. And we're really motivated to keep pioneering this area. We still think this is a really strong area for voice. But since building quite a few skills, our vision for voice has expanded. So whether that's about accessibility, so delivering experiences for older people, for example, that may not be able to sort of consume content on small screens, or whether it's about sort of consuming entertainment, we think that the role of voice is being shaped as we go. And that makes it a really exciting place to play. Another motivation for us, and I'm going to quote a colleague here, Jag Sharma from Infinity Motors, would always say that voice is an underinvested space. So now really is the time to get on. While the field's less crowded, it's an opportunity to carve out your role and figure out what your experience should be on voice. And I really buy that hook, line and sinker. So the advice that I'd give developers just starting out in voice, assuming that you've got the technical things all nailed down, I won't go into that, there's 2 key things. Expect the unexpected. No matter how you think users will talk to your skill, they're bound to ask for things you just clearly weren't expecting. The second thing is that while voice is a new territory, expectations are really high and tolerance is low, so you need to start simple. So thinking about some failures that we had in voice that taught us some valuable lessons, I think the first one is that it's really easy to underestimate how long it takes to listen to a paragraph that might just take seconds to read. Our first experiences with voice were really wordy, but after a bit of user testing, we realized that only really short segments work, particularly when we're talking about instructions. Any more than a few instructions, users would forget what you've asked, and that ultimately frees up at the crucial moment. So the way we come up with new ideas when building skills at Hi Mum Said Dad is we follow an ideation framework. Essentially, it's about immersing with the problem, thinking about what users think and what they actually do in relation to voice, and what technologies we have on offer. With all that in mind, we run a series of exercises to thrash out what we hope will be some zingers. But we also follow the crawl, walk, run methodology from Amazon. And really that's about reducing the idea to the core principle and not get clouded with all the individual cool features you might come up with. So really bring it down to basics and start with the most simplistic version of your idea. So the way we go about prototyping new ideas, sort of twofold. The first one is a little analog. We actually print it out on a huge poster so that we can see all the paths at once. The idea there is we can see where the integrations are, we can see all the paths, the happy paths and maybe the error flows, for example, and we can get a sense of the integrations we need technically, what dependencies we might have, all from an aerial view. So once we've done that, we have a good macro sense of the skill. We create prototypes using tools like Invocable. Tools like that give you a really quick and easy way to create something that feels like the real deal without the actual development. So I think in-skill purchases will have a big impact on the voice industry. Firstly, it'll give brands and businesses more reason to get involved. Ultimately, it'll allow them a route to monetize their skills. Secondly, I think it'll give us an opportunity to unlock premium content. So I think there's some really interesting use cases, particularly when we move into the car. I think that food delivery businesses have a really interesting territory to play in there. When users are sort of on their way home from work or whatever it might be, giving them an opportunity to sort of place their order and go and pick up the delivery itself, I think adds convenience for the user, but also for the brand. It means that they can reduce the cost of serve for each of the individual orders that they make.